Tonight on Tombs, Tea and Trauma.
Oh my god, that was something that I forgot to mention. So when I was playing in the Speed Demon outfit on the challenge mode, when you're crawling, she has a camel toe that moves.
What the fuck?
I'm not even joking. I was like,
Wow,
it looks like she's got period marks.
Lovely.
Okay, we need to stop this podcast like now. We're going to have no followers.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Tombs, Tea and Trauma, the podcast where we deep dive into all things Tomb Raider and hopefully leave a little bit more traumatised than we started. As always on the podcast today, we have in equal parts insight, menace and personalities. We have Geek Raider. Say hey, Geek Raider.
Love talk.
We have Tomb Raider's gatekeeper and very own Regina George, Seth McKenzie.
Hello, boys. You're all wet.
Serving the Lux Law and the occasional unhinged take, we have Calvin.
Hey Raiders.
We have our resident bear, who's soft at heart but totally ready to maul you if you say something he doesn't agree with. We have Paul.
Hello there, queens.
We have the cool, collected, and never seen without a gin in his hand, Craig.
Hello, boys.
And I, of course, am Jack, the fully grown man who never grew out of dress up. How are we all doing this week, guys?
Good, thank
Very
you.
good. Very good. Thank you.
Nice to see you all.
To see you.
I know,
Looking
right?
gorgeous too with your haircut, Calvin.
Thank you. I feel lighter.
Don't worry, I'm not trying to get in your pants. Calm down.
Well, you are.
Don't tell my husband.
I can join in, it's fine.
That's the
I'm
other
not
podcast
gonna-
no
yeah.
one knows about.
We won't give you ideas. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Drink.
It started
So-
already.
It started.
So yeah, how are we all? Are we all well?
I'm
Glad
fabulous.
to be here.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Very good.
It doesn't feel like-
But other than
It doesn't feel like 5 minutes since we did this last.
It's nice that to have their light.
It is.
Yeah.
Crops have gone forward.
Yeah.
Summer's on its way.
Thank you, farmers.
I had to close the blinds. I was like, what's going on? Like, used to this evil day star being out. But without further ado, shall we get right into it then? Craig, our resident journalist, I believe you've been keeping an eye on all the news. Would you like to let us know what's been happening in the world of Tomb Raider over the past fortnight?
Tombs, tea, and trauma. I'm not gonna do that every week. Okay, so yes, we have got yet more news in the last 2 weeks. It feels like every time we record an episode, like we just kind of miss loads of news and stuff comes out like the very next day or the next 2 days. So kickstarting things off, we've got more set images and video footage from the Amazon TV series. Sophie was seen on set shooting her dual pistols.
Wow.
Amongst the woods and ruins. So I thought I'd take a bit of a deeper dive at some of these pictures and video footage because everybody just seems to concentrate on that, outfit she's wearing that either people like or hate.
Hideous.
But did anybody notice she has an actual grapple hook?
I think
her
it's
belt?
the collapsing
Yes.
axe from the anime. Like a
It's
folding one.
not,
Is it not?
a pickaxe, it's a grapple hook.
Huh.
We've said this before, but she's got a medipack on her back as well. And then there's some footage of her holding a grenade.
And just
Kind
over
of like
the shoulder
what
into a
Lara had
window.
in Legend, and then she throws it through a window in an opening of a building. What I found really cool was if you pay really close attention, she then walks into the building. It's not a ruin. And you can see the doorway that she's walking in, and on the outside of the door frame, there what seems to be is quite reminiscent of a Nordic design or carvings on the doorway. So could she be parachuting into Norway?
Didn't I say that before?
Possibly. I mean, we have talked about this before, potentially, about when we said, in the woods with snow on the ground. Was she potentially going somewhere Nordic, given the history of Tomb Raider? So I thought that was really cool.
Interesting.
Maybe she's gone back to Helheim to fuck her mum again. Just to remind her
maybe.
you're not
To make
my mum.
doubly sure she's dead.
They're going to
Zombie
retcon
mummy.
it, aren't they? They're going to retcon this unification and go and find her mom.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not in the tomb after all under Croft Manor. She's actually in Helheim.
What do you guys think, though? I thought the footage of her actually, running through the woods, shooting the dual pistols, it looked pretty good. I can kind of imagine how it could be edited together.
Yeah, I thought it looked quite cool. I think when you see sort of footage which is not the footage that's being shot. It always looks a bit weird. But once you've seen what they were kind of going for, I reckon it'll look really good, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's looking promising, but, that's me.
Definitely.
Maybe, do we open up the comments below? Let everybody else tell us what they think, or do we just not care?
Seeing it
I'm
anyway
still
is
waiting for it to pull
transformative.
some sick backflips and shit. So
A lot of a lot of people have been focusing on those candid photos, aren't they? Where she's like really grimacing, like
Looks like she's gonna cry.
yeah, she's like. But that's clearly not going to happen in the TV show. That's something that's happened during the filming, and it's just a funny candid photo, isn't it?
And going back to what Jack said, it would be really cool if you do see her doing somersaults and backflips and all that stuff, but I can't imagine Sophie Turner doing that. So doesn't mean to say there won't be a stunt double doing it.
Well,
That's what stunt people are for, isn't it?
But really, the press are only interested in showing Sophie. So
Query on that one though. I know Angelina Jolie did all of her own stunts, but at the
She
beginning
didn't
when
do
she's
all
in
of
the
them.
no, and that was a
There's
man
many she didn't.
doing those
She lied.
backflips.
So that's what I was going to say. Is who was it that did the backflips in the
It was a
in
man.
the training room at the beginning?
Hulk Hogan,
He's a
by the
man.
look of it.
It's really, and there's a cut. When she's jumping on the
Yeah.
Egyptian,
The obelisk.
it cuts. It's a really bad cut halfway through her somersault. It's just you can't. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I think actually she did do all of the ballet thing on the bungees though. She did all that herself, and then the
Yeah.
all of
thing
it.
because
No, yeah, she did. I think she did all of the wire stunts herself. Yeah.
She did a lot, but some stuff you can tell it's a male.
some stuff they just won't
Yeah.
let their Hollywood star risk either.
No,
Because
Yeah,
because of
insurance.
insurances
if
and stuff.
somebody
Yeah.
fractures
They
an ankle or
can't, can they?
something, that's lost time
Yeah.
filming.
Well, I'm sure, given the history so far this year, we will get some more insights into the production in the next coming weeks. But
Can't wait for it to come out in 2042.
in more news, I reported last week that the new Lara Croft Funko Pops were going to be coming out, and it turns out that actually they only came out in America. And those of us that ordered them in the UK and probably elsewhere around the world, they've been delayed until May.
No
So-
surprise there.
Why am
we-
I not
We had
surprised?
a message from somebody that had ordered them and had forwarded to us their email response, which I'll stick on screen now.
Is that
So,
because
but yeah,
Trump's put some sort of tariffs in
Wouldn't
place or
surprise me.
something?
He's bombed something or raised
No
taxes
idea.
or it'll be geopolitical bullshit, no doubt.
it's quite
Because
disappointing
their
though, isn't
shipping
it?
is absolute shit. I bought the 1 to 3 remastered collector's edition. I got it like 2 years later. So I'd forgotten
But these are
even
just
bought it.
Funko Pops. Does anyone care about Funko Pops?
I mean,
We've had this discussion before,
You
but
know my thoughts.
some people like them and it's a shame for them.
yeah, you're right.
them.
And it's just a bit shitty that they get an email last minute when they're about to
Yeah,
expect them to be
exactly.
shipped. So yeah, well. Anyway, and moving on, we have issue 3 of Sacred Artifacts come out.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And we had some insight into the inside of the comic again. One thing stood out to me, and it probably stood out to everybody else, but she's got really big tits.
It's like they're growing with each issue. Like back in the day, it was they got bigger with each.
yeah.
It's that one where she's eating the chicken, and it's just like
This is when she's basically
Yeah.
giving a chicken drumstick a blowjob. yeah.
But
And she's
clearly
really
not a
wide-eyed.
vegetarian. That's very much established now, isn't
She's
it?
clearly not a
Yeah,
lesbian
well.
either.
But I don't know, I'm quite
With every
tempted to buy
Medipack,
these.
the nips grow longer.
you know, well, somebody sent me an image, said this new issue is like off the wall, and it took me a good 30 seconds to realise that it wasn't from an actual comic, and it was gross. It was Lara having a fantasy about Sam in the bed, and I was like, oh, no, thank you.
Good Lord, no one wants to see that.
That was my trauma
just
for the
don't
week,
get-
anyway.
People that want the whole Sam and Lara lesbian thing can just go do one, really.
Yeah. Again, she
more
had great
news.
breasts in it, so that's what took me a minute to work out.
Careful, Craig, you might get us cancelled.
Yeah. What do you mean, careful, Craig? In big Tomb Raider news this week, Crystal Dynamics announced that they have made another round of layoffs. This is the 4th lot of layoffs in the last 12 months. Some 20 staff members across development and their central operations have been let go. And in an interesting move, Dallas Dickinson, who was the former ex-producer and general manager at Crystal Dynamics, he's jumped ship to Story Kitchen, who are the studio developing the Amazon TV series and previously did the Netflix anime. So I
is he
wonder
still
what's going on
involved?
there.
Is he still involved in the Tomb Raider franchise, just not with the games then?
Well, I imagine so.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Kitchen they're a separate production company that specialise in apparently bringing game media into film and TV.
I wonder if he's some sort of liaison for them then, so that they can get the canon en route.
Maybe. I mean, I think the Tomb Raider TV series is going to be around for a while. Whether he's at Crystal Dynamics, at Story Kitchen, it sounds like he's going to be working on Tomb Raider in one way or another for a while yet. So I think it's probably quite a good thing. I think he did a lot of good things to Tomb Raider in the last few years. He obviously was heading up the studio when the remasters were being done. And what we're seeing now from the franchise is because of the work that he's done.
What with the unification and whatnot. So he's basically trying to appease everybody and tie in the Survivor timeline with the classic timeline and make it all cohesive.
Well, that's what his job was. Yes.
Right. Okay. So his job was basically let's make everybody happy.
Right.
You can't do that though.
Not with this family.
No.
Time will tell when it comes to Legacy Atlantis, I suppose. But
yeah,
well, we'll see. One has to admire his.
Very sad for
ambition,
Crystal Dynamics employees, really. Another round of people that thought that they were probably safe has now lost their jobs. What this means for Catalyst coming out next year, who knows? I don't think this is going to affect Legacy of Atlantis because that's obviously being handled by a different studio. So, yeah. And then finally, we heard from Arse about patch 5. It took them a grand total of 6 days to respond to all of the comments on social media after the release of patch 5, which is pretty bad. And I think it made it even worse that they just continued to plug the release on their socials quite heavily in the days after its release when everybody was experiencing all these issues. But in their response, I won't read out their whole press release because it's just a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. It's not particularly very long.
It is in the description on episode 3 as well, because obviously the update came shortly after we'd recorded that.
Yeah. But to be honest, they didn't really apologise in it, which I thought was a bit shit.
Shady queen.
What was interesting is that they did feel like they had to confirm that no AI-generated assets were used in the update, but they didn't mention any of the key artwork, which is what I think most people were saying looked like it had been AI-generated, and which I talked about last week. So, yeah, but...
Can I just say regarding that, it really surprised me and kind of disappointed me that so many people commented thanking them for just acknowledging that they broke their product. Could you imagine any other scenario where a company breaks something that you bought and then you thank them because they acknowledged that you broke it? Why would you thank them? That's so baffling to me.
By the way, I came into your house and I broke your 10-inch dildo, but it's okay. We'll fix it later.
Yeah. I've acknowledged that I broke it.
I really appreciate your apology there, Geek. Thank you.
I was going to say that sounds like a lived experience.
It absolutely is.
But they did confirm that people can go to support.arspire.com to report any bugs that they have, and that will help them to prioritise the fixes.
The thing that got me was about, I'm sure, and I'm probably going to be wrong because I'm gay, but I'm sure that they say updates will come, which makes me think that they're not going to fix it straight away.
Well, we mentioned this before, didn't we? I think there's like a 2-week period that they have to wait until a
before
release.
They can patch before they can release a patch.
Yeah. So
by the way, I'm still playing it and I've still not had any issues. Just saying.
So I booted it up 5 minutes earlier and got bored and turned it off again.
I find it quite interesting, to be honest, the challenge mode. I do quite like it. The only issue I've had so far, touch wood, is the music going into Croft Banner.
See, I've not even had that.
Which seems to be
the most common one, doesn't it?
I think it's the most common one, yeah. But as Geek said on the last episode, it disappeared as soon as she started talking. And that was on Tomb Raider 3.
I've not even had that, no. For anyone that accuses me of toxic positivity, I have played it and I have had none of the bugs, so it's not everyone. I've just been really lucky. But yeah, it does suck for people.
What's quite interesting is you play on PS5, right?
Yes, I do, yeah.
We all do. So maybe PS5 is like a less buggy version and it's the other.
Maybe.
Maybe it's more PC or something, yeah.
Well, anyway, that's it for this week's news roundup for me. I'm shutting the fuck up.
Yay. Finally.
Thank you for that, Craig, as always. It's really great that you've done that, so the rest of us don't have to. Much appreciated. But no, for this episode, I wanted to do something a little different to all the previous ones, and I wanted to really lean into some trauma, particularly some of our own trauma that we have had throughout the many, many years we have all been involved in Tomb Raider. Some instances we've had playing the games, stuff that's happened out in public, all those kind of things. And we also open that up to our communities. So...
We are going to keep these anonymous, by the way,
Yes.
and there's one particular one
we
that's
need
quite
to.
shocking.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I can go first. I've got I thought long and hard about
I think
this,
it's only
and this one
right you
always-
go first. You probably had multiple
But it's
ones.
the Dark Angel Symphony Kickstarter from a few years back. So Ash very kindly invited me down to go and represent Angel of Darkness, cosplaying as Curtis Trent, which I did. And it was quite an eventful day. My friend Natalie, who was cosplaying Janice, went outside for some air. I leant over at some point and my gun fell out and whacked Eric Loren right on the head. But the most traumatic memory I've got was me telling a very, very politically incorrect joke about starving children in Africa. And right as I came to the inappropriate punchline, Ash walked past live streaming and got the whole thing. And honestly, I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me whole. I have continued feeling bad to this day about that. Don't hate me. But that's my one. I'm going to nominate Seth to go next, even though he already volunteered off screen.
Okay, so basically, you know when you think weirdly and interpret situations weirdly when you're a kid, like because Tomb Raider 1 Lara is like the most difficult and stilted to control, internalized that and thought that she hated me personally. And so, I know it's so weird. So I like resented Tomb Raider 1 for a while because I thought, oh, that Lara hates me. So yeah, that's just your stupid kid brain thinking. That's my dumb, embarrassing story. That's the best I've got.
So you thought that Lara had something personal against you?
Yeah, because she wouldn't respond to how I asked her to control.
She just joined the club.
Basically, there's a sign of things to come.
Calvin, you're up next. Tell us your trauma.
I haven't really got much trauma from Tomb Raider, but the RX text mines are absolutely terrifying to me. That's my trauma. It's very much The Thing meets, I don't know, Alien. And it's just like when I played the remasters, I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely horrific. How is Tomb Raider a horror game? Didn't even realise when I was playing Tomb Raider 3 back in the day, but genuinely is the creepiest level I think I've played. People say about the Tyrannosaurus Rex coming around the corner in Tomb Raider 1. Absolutely not. RX text mines is terrifying, absolutely horrendous.
It is.
But I
That is
kinda
Tomb
love it
Raider
for
going
it.
into horror territory there. Definitely.
It's always that really
The
dark
worst
passage
bit is
they
the
run down.
flashing, the dark corridor with the flashing lights.
Yeah.
Is that the one you were on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to crawl underneath the grating in the floor.
And then you go down
And
the
one goes
grating
on
and,
top of you.
and the big mutant man just jumps out. I literally jumped out my skin.
Yeah.
I nearly pooed myself.
It is terrifying.
You literally
I
jumped
really
out.
had to clench hard.
No, I agree. Those are the horrible.
Go on then,
When you
Paul.
first play, obviously you get used to it over time, don't you?
You do, but that is definitely, even now, like that level still gives me
Yeah,
the
no.
creeps.
My
It's
first
so-
few playthroughs of those levels are ingrained, sort of imprinted on my memory.
I don't remember it being so bad back in the day, but since I've played the remasters, I was like, oh my God, this is very Resident Evil-esque.
Yeah.
Flipping.
It's the bit, it's that
style.
room with the flickering lights, and you know
Yeah.
that there's like a giant one
can
around
hear
there.
it.
and it's
Well,
like,
I forgot the giant one was there, so I shit myself.
It's the one time where the remaster didn't remove flickering lights like they did for Maria Doria.
did you have to push your piles back in?
No,
No,
somebody
that's-
with their fist did that the day before.
Oh my God.
He's not denying.
Do you know what the most traumatic Tomb Raider experience is? Meeting you guys.
You're welcome.
Paul, you're up next. What's your trauma?
Well, might I just say, spoilers ahead for Tomb Raider Underworld. Years ago, we're talking 2008, a few months or a few weeks maybe even after the game came out. I was running through it for like maybe my second playthrough. I got to the corridor where you can see Zombie Mum at the end, and I walked towards it and the cutscene did not trigger. And I could just wander around. I went straight up to Zombie Amelia. I walked through into the area where the final boss bit final bit takes place. Nothing would trigger. The game was basically broken at that point. But I decided that I would go on to Tomb Raider forums. Does anyone remember Tomb Raider forums?
Unfortunately. Shithole.
And say that I'd had this experience, but I inadvertently spoiled the ending of Tomb Raider Underworld for everyone who hadn't yet reached that point on TRF by naming my post, "You don't have to kill Amelia."
Did you get banned?
I didn't get banned. I sent like a really poorly worded sorry to the moderators, and they were like, "Paul has responded saying that he realizes his mistake and would like you all to forget about it now, please, and don't think he's the worst thing." So that was like a bit traumatic for a young fledgling Tomb Raider fan who was just trying to make friends.
Get away, you weren't that young.
Well, 2008. Oh yeah, I wasn't really, was I? Oh, fuck's sake. So yeah, that wasn't exactly my best experience amongst Tomb Raider fans. So apologies to anyone who may have been reading Tomb Raider forums in November/December 2008. It was me who spoiled the game for you. There we go. There's mine.
All right, Craig, you're up next. What have you done or had happened to you that has left a scar?
I had to think about this for a while, but I'm gonna have to go with I have dressed in cosplay as Lara a few times, mostly to Halloween parties.
And you look fabulous, dear.
Thank you, darling. And I was encouraged to do it yet again only last year in my version of her cat suit, black latex. Anybody who was at Derby Tomb Raider 29 last year wouldn't have missed me. And Paul, because we both dressed up the same. And, so I thought, so I felt extra slutty, and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to wear this to the Halloween party. So I was there at the Halloween party, and as you do, I needed to go for a wee. And so I went into the toilet, and this costume has two zips, one from the top and one from the backside. The obvious thing to do is to use the zip from the backside and go from the back up to the front, so you can wang it out and do your business.
Oh, you had a
Well,
right
anyway,
kinky outfit, didn't you?
this one time I went to the toilet, the zip got stuck and completely come off the zipper. So I thought, okay, how do I correct this? It's going to be fine. I've got another zip. So I got a zip from the top, and I came down from the top and just met in the middle, and then that come off, and I was like, shit, what do I do? I'm kind of naked. So I then had to shout to some friends outside, and these two girls came running who I had never met before, and I had one in my bum hole and then the other one in my pee hole, trying to get this zip back on so that I could zip myself back up again. Well, anyway, it completely failed, and I was just stood there in my boxer shorts. But luckily, my mate Scott, whose party it was, he was brilliant. He went up to his wardrobe and he came down with these nice little tiny green shorts and a black t-shirt that I could tie in to a little bow at the front, and I rocked it. So that's my embarrassing.
Is the outfit still ruined right now?
No, the outfit went straight in the bin.
I've still got
mine.
mine.
History. We could have sold that off.
I mean, I really loved how I felt in it too, so I might buy it again. It was cheap.
Yeah, no, they weren't about that expensive, really, were they?
Was it Temu?
No, it was Amazon, but
It was Amazon, wasn't it? Yeah.
it was cheap, and I felt cheap, and I liked it.
It's
I
not
thought it was
often that Craig
surprising.
does cheap, is
I
it?
thought it was that Derby when me and you both did that costume. I thought it was going to be really uncomfortable, but I was, like you say, I felt surprisingly good in that outfit.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
You both rocked it on stage.
Thank you.
I didn't
that
rock
didn't
it on
happen
stage. I
stage.
tripped up and nearly fell over.
I know.
On the day.
Do a
Oh my
slut
God, I
drop when your
would've
cock
loved
flops out.
Go in the cosplay masquerade.
I mean, we did see everything with the compression anyway. There wasn't much to.
That big old moose
imagination.
knuckle.
Well, Lara doesn't leave much to the imagination either, so why should
No.
someone cosplay Lara? Even if we do have penises.
Pyramid
Shameful.
balls.
Oh my god, that was something that I forgot to mention. So when I was playing in the speed demon outfit on the challenge mode, when you're crawling, she has a camel toe that moves.
What the fuck?
I'm not even joking. I was like,
What?
because it's
number
red, it looks like
368.
it
Lara's
looks like
camel
she's
toe.
got. It looks like she's got it's really bad.
why
It looks
don't
like she's
you
got
guys
period
do it?
marks.
Lovely.
Okay, we need to stop this podcast like now. We're going to have no followers.
I was literally playing Ludsgate. I was playing Ludsgate, and I was crawling through the gap that goes to the medipack, and then you have to crawl back. And I was like, That's not right.
Why were you
Well,
looking
that's
at
not
gay
right.
now?
Up there.
I
That
certainly
isn't
am.
You are now.
That made no sense
But
what
yeah,
you said.
anyway, that was a bit of trauma for me as well.
So yeah, some trauma for us all to look forward to at some
Yeah,
point.
cheers for sharing that, Calvin. I feel so much better now.
Keep an eye out. You're all going to go play it later on now, aren't you? You'll be like,
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Go on, Geek, what have you got to contribute?
Well, I had a dream once that I sucked off the herbalist in Angel of Darkness.
No.
Was it a wet one?
It was. He gave me his herbs. His little
It's
herby sauce.
Poor Medipack Mandy had to wash those sheets, didn't she?
I couldn't even pull them apart. They were stuck like PVA glue. Anyway, I do actually have a trauma besides spunking on bed sheets over the herbalist. This was when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I. Huh?
The spunking was when you were 5 or 6 years old.
No, I couldn't spunk back then. My balls were like little raisins. No, I had like
What is going on?
yeah.
I'm not crying this episode.
No, I
You're
am.
all
I'm not
the
doing it.
I am.
C for compose.
That's feminist my mother-in-law, where she was.
See for cock gobble. So I played Tomb Raider 3 on the PS1 when I was a little boy with little small balls, and I didn't realise that there was a strategy to choosing what locations you pick, because obviously I was a little gay boy and didn't have access to the internet back then. So I did London, South Pacific first, and I only ever saved on one slot. And obviously you have save crystals. So fine, and then get to Nevada, and at the start of the level, there's a little bit where you jump over a hole and there's some barbed wire underneath for the
Yes.
secret. Anyway, I mistimed and fell, and in a panic, mid-air, over barbed wire, used my only save crystal remaining in that
Not
one
bad.
save slot. And so every time I loaded the game, she would just fall into barbed wire and die.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
We've all
We've
done
all
that.
done it.
It's no less traumatic, though. We've all been there.
No, but Medipack Mandy, because I was so upset, she got Stella's walkthroughs and played through the whole game again while I was at
Oh.
school so that she could allow me to carry on
Wait,
playing.
The whole
And this is
game.
while she was-
level skip.
And this is why she's
so
triple
cute.
washing your bed sheets.
As if we needed another reason to absolutely adore Medipack Mandy.
What do you mean the whole
Yeah.
game? There's a restart level option.
I
On
was gonna say, what were
PS1,
you
you can just
playing on?
restart
You
level.
don't get that on PC, do you?
You don't get it on PC.
But you're on PS1, there's restart level, which is the only like saving
My whole
grace.
life's been a fucking lie. She just restarted the level, didn't she?
She might have.
Why did I think she replayed the whole game?
Maybe she
told
didn't
you.
know. Maybe
She
she
might
didn't
not
know
have
there was a
though.
restart level option.
Fucking bitch!
Ask her. Bring her upstairs now.
Oh, we should have got her on this episode actually, because I've given her a lot of trauma over the years.
Yeah.
I bet.
I remember
yeah.
one time she'd
All right, it's not all about you, geek.
I was just gonna say when I used a cricket bat as a dildo, but never mind.
Bloody hell.
Should we move on?
Alright, yeah. So that's ours. But I think we've had some fairly entertaining stories off the community. Would you like to read those out for us, Craig? Since you were collating them all.
Yeah, so we put the feelers out to see if anybody would anonymously send us their embarrassing moments. And
Are we going to
we
name and shame them?
did surprisingly have some replies. So one person said that they were so drunk at an official community event. We've
Can't
all
imagine
done that.
what.
I can't
Yeah,
imagine
I mean,
who.
we've all, yeah. I mean, yeah. Somebody has said that they tried to hold their breath for 1 minute like Lara during a swimming session. It was a bad choice. I mean, 1 minute isn't that long. I'm pretty sure
No.
I've held my
I can
breath
do it
for
a minute and a
longer than
half.
that. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Teenage me knocking one out to cursed cobbled together nude Lara pics on LimeWire.
Okay.
Cobbles together.
So badly assembled.
C for cobble.
Yeah, they're pictures.
Yeah, just cursed cobbled. Teenage me knocking one out to cursed cobbled together nude Lara pics on LimeWire. I mean, LimeWire's not been around for a very long time.
Yeah, that's
Why are there
ancient, bruv.
nude Lara pics
So we're
on
talking about a
LimeWire?
legacy fan here.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Somebody said that they updated to patch 5.
Oh, that's a trauma.
Involuntarily, probably.
Yeah. And then we had that somebody pressed the power button on their computer the first time they saw the giant spider on Tomb Raider 2.
Understandable.
I can understand that. And we do have one more. The person's story was so long that they felt that they had to DM it to us rather than send it as part of the story. And this person, where the fuck is it?
Can
Got
you
a load of
truncate it?
randoms. Oh, here we go. So they have said they were about 5 or 6 years old and had a couple of plastic toy pistols, which were resemblant of the classic pistols.
I already know what's going through
And they
Geek's
found
mind.
a couple of large hairbands that were their sisters and put them around their thighs. Okay. Then they went downstairs wearing holster straps and pistols while their mum and family friends were all pissing themselves laughing at them. And it's a story that their mum likes to remind them of until this very day.
That's cute as
So-
hell.
I mean, how little must they have been to be able to fit a hairband around their whole waist
I
as
can
a
do that.
holster?
I might have
maybe
been just
it's a-
around the thighs.
It was just around the thighs. They must have little stick thighs. Bless.
Well, thanks for that, guys. Hopefully, we're all feeling a little more traumatized than we were 5 minutes ago. Moving swiftly on from there, let's do our routine class, or is it Arse? I thought we could do something a bit different than our previous episodes. Instead of talking about something recent in Tomb Raider history, let's go back in time to something that we almost got but never did. That being Core Design's cancelled Anniversary Edition. With a new remake coming up, I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at what's been released over the years, anything that we'd like to see included in Legacy of Atlantis, anything that we wouldn't, anything that was done better in Anniversary, anything that should never see the light of day again from Anniversary, and go from there. So, first thing I noticed when playing the game and looking at the footage was the model for Lara was actually Crystal's Legend model and not Core Design's Angel of Darkness. So, yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Seth, I know
Arse.
you... Arse.
Well, surprisingly, Arse.
I was going to say because you bullied me
because-
into making the cosplay, but
Yeah, but that's because no one's done like a proper full-on cosplay of the outfit, and that's a world first that you did do, so that's amazing. But I still prefer the Crystal Anniversary version of the outfit. But yeah, sorry.
I mean, the outfit was okay, but it's a character model, which is why I said arse.
Yeah.
She
I
had a
think that-
ponitail, like they were trying to make her
she's
look like
Yeah, right.
very
Lara.
ginger in it though.
Her face-
She's very
yeah, face
ginger.
She
looked
was
weird.
very
that.
ginger,
This
yeah.
past week, really thinking about it, I thought, that could work for Sophie as an outfit. But anyway,
I do think that it was because they tried to carry it on from Legend.
From
And I
Legend,
do think
yeah.
I do think it's an arse because they were obviously trying to follow on from Legend and they were trying to stay incorporative to the new routes that were going through the processes at the time. So
But
I do
just might
think
have told them
think
to.
it's an arse model. It could have been changed later because the game wasn't finished anyway.
Yeah.
But it was for PSP as well, so
Yeah.
it was quite a basic model in itself.
Yes, yeah. But what a sorry state of affairs that the people who originally created Lara Croft?
Lara Croft?
Lara Croft. Lara Croft strove to make the model closer to Crystal Dynamics' version of Lara. I mean, these are the people that created Lara Croft.
And they felt like they had to follow suit
Yeah.
on another
Yeah.
studio's
Like,
idea.
I mean,
So I
it
think-
makes sense, but it's a bit depressing.
So it's agreed. It was arse, right?
I think it might be ours. That's not saying anything about the game itself and what it might have been, because obviously, that could have been an amazing experience had it come to fruition. But the model, kind of arse.
yeah.
what do we think of like the game itself and the levels and the looks? I quite like the colours and the lighting they used. It was very reminiscent of Angel of Darkness, so you can see that DNA is still there. Looking at it.
So you mean
it's
the art
class.
direction?
Yeah.
You mean the art direction? Yeah, I think it was class. What you could see what they were trying to do.
I really liked
And it
Atlantis
looked
in
definitely.
particular with the fleshiness and the chains and the
Yeah.
gross body horror stuff.
Yeah.
I have the disc of Anniversary Edition,
The disc.
and
That's what Tomb of Ash put together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a fan thing. Ash put a build on it. Yeah.
but I really like it. The
It's
reason
funny.
why I like it so much is because the lighting is just so riveting. It's just
Chef's kiss.
kiss. compared to Anniversary, which is quite beige. And I know it's the beige era of gaming, but I just think core design, they just knew how to do lighting. And I think it was just the contrast of vibrant colours just looks really nice. It's something that Andy Sandham does quite well in the London levels. It's just those deep blues and purples, and it's like,
yeah,
amazing.
I think the colour palette and the lighting especially looked great, and it was very reminiscent of Angel of Darkness at times as well. So you could see it was still had that DNA in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely during the levels, it was very AOD-ish in parts. It was very Tomb of the Ancients
Yes.
in some areas.
I mean, it was a lot more faithful to the original game, and obviously some of the you could see some of the ideas that you had to kind of expand them and add more detail, like having the broken ship in the caves level and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was like really nice details. I find it hard to be that butthurt that we didn't get it in the end. Like, I know that's controversial, but I don't know. I kind of discovered it long after it had been in development and had been cancelled. It was only later on that I realised there was even another sort of Tomb Raider Anniversary type project. I'd long since played Anniversary as well, and at the time quite warm to Anniversary, and because I liked the way they expanded some puzzles like the fire room and what else did they
Spike Room as well.
Poseidon and Atlas puzzles as well. I was really made up with those. And I mean, it's a shame that we didn't get it and see what the core design sort of vision for a remake would have been. But I didn't experience at the time being excited for a core design remake. Was anyone though? Like, when did it actually become clear that they were working on a remake?
Like
I genuinely can't remember. I think I was the same as you, where it was quite a bit after Anniversary had came out that I found out about the Anniversary edition. I do remember seeing some old videos, like beta videos of like the T-Rex, but I remember seeing that there was some people were contemplating as to whether Tomb Raider 2 was also supposed to be part of the Anniversary edition, because there was spiders. I saw videos of trapdoor spiders coming out, and whether they were for the Temple of Xi'an. So yeah, I was very intrigued as to how far they were going to go with this Anniversary edition, and seeing, I've not played it myself, but seeing what it looked like it was going to be a very good game, to be honest. I think for a PSP game, there was a lot of detail put into it. It was very modified from the Tomb Raider 1 levels themselves. It was very, what's the word?
The level layout was exactly the same, wasn't it?
It was exactly the same, yeah. So it's very...
What I liked about it was, I liked the colour palettes that they used.
Yeah.
And they were much brighter than what we ended up getting in an Anniversary. And I like what they tried to do with it, added all the extra elements and things. What I didn't like was the Lara model.
But then there's no saying that was going to be the final model.
No, but they tried to make it look like the Legend Lara, because Legend had come out by then.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make her look like Lara did in Legend.
I did hear that Tomb Raider Anniversary was very much rushed through because they had to cancel Anniversary Edition to then make Tomb Raider Anniversary, because people had seen the Tomb Raider Anniversary Edition already. So they needed to be like, jump on the bandwagon and be like, we need to do something for the anniversary.
Yeah.
So it came out 2007, was it?
Yeah.
So, yes.
So it came out in 2007 because they had to use the Legend engine and put something together quite quickly in order to accommodate for the Anniversary Edition that had been teased.
To more accurately describe it, Core were trying to get their jobs back and put together this game. Crystal caught wind of it and pitched their own remake, and because Legend was successful, Eidos said, okay, Crystal, you do it, and then they cancelled Core's version.
From what I saw of it, it was absolutely stunning. I remember seeing St. Francis Folly and having the centre bit as being round,
with water as well.
Stunning,
Water coming down
with water falling down. And then also, I want to say it was the Sphinx part, where that room was round instead of being squared, and blocks going
yes,
up.
It was almost like the Colosseum.
There was lava
on the inside. Yes,
it was. Yeah, and there was lava in it as well, and it was a complete redesign of that room, but it looked absolutely stunning. And like you say, it was to do with the lighting and the way that the lighting bounced off things.
I think it's safe
gorgeous
to say that Crystal with Anniversary took definitely some ideas from the Anniversary edition with the round version of St. Francis Folly. For sure.
Because it wasn't round.
St. Francis Folly was square, but there was a
sorry.
Poseidon
I mean the
temple.
Poseidon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was
Poseidon room was round, yeah.
Sorry.
But that was gorgeous, though, Poseidon. It's one of the best modern
And the
Tomb Raider
Colosseum
puzzles.
was-
modern. It was like 20
The
years
The
ago.
Colosseum was
round,
round, and that was quite a
The
good
Colosseum,
interpretation.
yes.
So that was class.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah,
colors
definitely.
were absolutely amazing. People talk about ray tracing these days, and it's like this old unfinished PSP game has some of the best lighting, I think. It was so moody and evocative and colorful. I'll take that over, some of the stuff you see nowadays.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Well, I do think watching some of the footage recently, some areas still suffered that, like Naughty's washed out. Tomb of Tehoken is one that I thought, where's all the colour gone? And I would have still liked to have seen more colour on the walls in the Egypt levels than we actually got. Of course, having been to Egypt, there's colour everywhere. It's just, the exposed bit where all the paint's faded. But
But then you've also got to bear in
yeah.
mind that it was an unfinished game. You don't know what it was going to look like at the end.
Well, they tried to repurpose it, didn't they, by turning it into an Indiana Jones game?
yeah.
So you get to
Um,
Natla's Mines, and they've now put Nazi stuff up because of Indiana Jones, but and I think they've remodeled parts of it. But
How weird would it have been to play a released Indiana Jones game, which was basically using cloned levels
Yeah.
from Tomb Raider 1?
Yeah, and
That would have
Imagine
been...
did that get released, by the way?
No,
No, that was cancelled as well.
Oh, okay.
Imagine if the higher-ups had approved it and then it got released, and then after the fact they realised, oh my god, we just let this studio do an unfinished, repurposed version of Tomb Raider, and they would see the comparison, they'd be like, oh my god, that's so bad.
Yeah.
If I'd gone and got that game, I'd have twigged within 5 minutes what had happened, and I would have not have been happy. I'd have felt cheap.
I mean,
Not
we
been
can
happy.
kind of see the writing on the wall, and in hindsight, maybe it was a good thing that Anniversary Edition in either form didn't come to fruition. Because
I wish
I
we got
actually
it.
think that. Well, I mean, as a Tomb Raider fan, yes, I wish we'd have got it, but I don't think it would have been successful. Core Design were a broken studio trying to claw back their way into glory. I don't know. I
think it would have been
It's a
nice
shame.
closure
It's
to
a shame.
have them
And it
have
would have
one
been, yeah, but-
final
Right,
swan
and
song. It would have been
Yeah.
quite a nice
It would have
been
been,
final
but
swan
I'm not
dive.
convinced that that's what we would have gotten. I think we may have still gotten a broken game, but maybe that's
Maybe.
just because of Angel of Darkness. Who
A
knows?
broken core game is better than a polished crystal game. Hashtag just saying.
I'll drink to that.
So overall, what are we saying then? Neither class or Arse, or?
Arse for the model, class for the game.
Yes, agreed.
I agree. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
agree. The game itself looks absolutely stunning, and the lighting is fabulous.
And it's a shame.
Include-
It's a shame.
It
But,
is a shame.
these things happen all the time, don't they, with games?
Yeah.
Is there
So-
anything you think the guys at Hog should look at and carry over if it's not too late?
See, I do
All of
think
it.
that they
All
are
of it.
going to potentially. I think they will probably take a lot of inspiration from Anniversary Edition in Legacy of Atlantis because of there being so much in there that could have been in Tomb Raider Anniversary itself anyway, such as the rounded version of St. Francis Folly. I would not be surprised if, when it comes to Legacy of Atlantis, they take inspiration from that rather than the blocky square platforms.
But then if they
that
have
we
the
get.
Poseidon side room, then we'd have like 2 towers with circular platforms. So it's like, and plus, would they even know about Anniversary Edition? There are some fans that don't even know about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
Of course they would,
I
because
hope
they
they do.
cancelled it.
No, but Flying Wild Hog Studios, or whatever the hell they're called, they're not going to know about this old cancelled PSP game from 2006. They
I
just
don't know.
might
I'd be
not.
surprised. They
I hope
probably
they do.
would.
And, they've
So-
got to have to give themselves room to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Put their
Yeah.
own stamp on the game as well. So, why should they have to follow 3 different previous versions of the game? They've got to put their
Yeah,
own
no,
stamp
that's
on
true.
it.
Hmm.
So,
I think we're going to see a bit of an amalgamation. What I wouldn't want, and I'm sure what a lot of people wouldn't want, is for it to just be a reskin in modern graphics of Anniversary, which I think is what a lot of people are fearing it might
Yeah.
become.
No, the thing is, they keep branding it as a reimagining of Tomb
Yeah.
Raider 1. They don't mention Tomb Raider Anniversary.
They
and
don't,
I think
but if you study the
I
visuals of this trailer, it's quite reminiscent of
It's,
Anniversary.
Jumping
get that.
backwards bit
I get-
as well that everyone's looked at and gone, that's very Anniversary, but yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
However, they said it's a reimagining of Tomb Raider 1. I think it's because, going back to the whole retcon situation, I think they're retconning, and Tomb Raider Anniversary, obviously there are certain elements in there where they've taken liberties with Tomb Raider 1, such as Larson being killed by and being Lara's first kill. Well, they can't have Larson as Lara's first kill because she's had the whole Survivor trilogy to have a first kill, and there was that whole thing in Tomb Raider 2013. So when it comes to Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, I think they are going to take more inspiration from the first game, but take elements from maybe Anniversary and take inspiration from Anniversary and potentially Anniversary Edition. If they take things such as, like I said, St. Francis Folly being round and the Sphinx Room, I mean, the Sphinx Room looked absolutely stunning from what I saw. I think this game has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential, and I think from what we've seen in the initial trailer so far, I think it's very promising.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if level structure was kind of a mix between Tomb Raider 1 and Anniversary, but new expanded areas to levels were added with secrets and some environmental storytelling, which maybe expanded the lore of TR1. That's what I'd like to see, because I don't think I'd want it to be a straight one-on-one remake of Tomb Raider 1 either, just with fancy graphics. I'd want some expansion to the lore. I'd want some environmental storytelling in the environments in each level to sort of broaden the story a little bit more.
I think they have to play on the lore anyway, regardless, because of the fact that Tomb Raider, what was the last one? Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Yes.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Obviously, she got that from Natla, didn't she?
All those decades ago.
And obviously they're trying to
Well, that was patched out
or
anyway.
whatever.
It was,
It was, but regardless, people are still aware of it.
Oh, everything's such a frightful mess.
But on top of which, there is the thing that she says, "Oh, I killed Richard in Thailand," but then Richard was killed by Trinity. Well, Natla could be involved with Trinity, so she had something to do with it. So I think there's going to be some play on the story to try and retcon that whole situation.
It's just a fucking
Or they
mess.
just forget it. Just forget it and move on.
I'm with you, Calvin. I think they will come up with some overly convoluted
way to play
explanation about how everything is the way that it is. And it won't be convincing, and it'll be a bit of a mishmash.
Yeah.
But at this point, the best thing maybe we can expect is hopefully the levels themselves, the sort of general story rather than the overarching story will actually be of good quality. And that's the best I can possibly hope for, I think, at this point for modern Tomb Raider.
I think the story is just going to make
it changes hands to a different studio and we get a complete fresh start from someone who respects the franchise.
Could I just say so Tomb Raider Anniversary, when the Tomb Raider 25 reimagining of the game art came out, did anyone notice that Tomb Raider Anniversary had the new ski on him?
Not at the time, but I have since.
No.
Yeah.
I have since.
Yeah, so it's got the new ski on him. So it makes me wonder as to whether that's actual concept art for it. So I think that Natla's going to come with her normal Karen sort of bob rather than the long hair that she had in Tomb Raider Anniversary. I think it is going to be very much more reminiscent and on, what's the word?
Par?
Pardon?
On par?
It's going to be on par to the original game.
I hope so.
I think
more
it's going to be
faithful reimagining than
faithful.
Anniversary.
That's the word I was looking for, Paul. Thank you. I think it's going to be more faithful to the original game.
I would like to see it kind of get the Resident Evil 1 remake treatment, like I say, where you get more lore, you get new areas, nothing is cut out. So that's what I'm hoping for. And a really, really gross looking Atlantis, because that was underwhelming in Anniversary, is my opinion.
I also think it's going to be a lot more open world.
Yeah,
Geeks just dropped out, but I'm pretty sure he'd say if it doesn't look like a prolapse, it's not acceptable.
I mean, judging from the size on the trailer of what the Lost World looks like.
Lost Valley,
I
bet they'll make that a hub.
I think that's going to be massive. Absolutely massive.
They'll make that the new party.
Go find some random Velociraptor's dice.
Yeah, go find my dice.
I've lost my fucking dice. Again.
So moving on to our next section, then it's time for a community shout out. And this week, Calvin has got somebody he wants to shine the spotlight on.
I mentioned her last episode, Beck Williams on YouTube. So Beck Williams 2524. The video, oh my god, I've had too much alcohol, guys.
Or not enough.
I've run out.
Well, this is going to be my 5th drink so far, so I really need a wee.
And me.
So I wanted to shout out Beck Williams 2524. I shouted out her last episode. However, last episode was due to the reimagining that she did of the outfits for the new patch. Since then, I have looked at her YouTube channel and oh my days, this woman is an absolutely incredibly talented animator. She does transition and morphing animations, and she has done some fantastic animations on majority. She's done majority of them on Tomb Raider. She has done a couple on The Thing and Silent Hill. However, her Tomb Raider ones are absolutely exquisite. Her Angel of Darkness, her Last Revelation ones, Chronicles. She's done some fantastic things. I mean, as someone who has done and studied animation, morphing animations are incredibly difficult, and you have to have a mass amount of imagination and mindset to be able to think, right, okay, so that can pan into that, and that can morph into this, and that can mold this way. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and I just wanted to say, like, she's absolutely brilliant, and she has smashed it out the park. Not only are her animations bang on with how the games dive into certain aspects, and she's captured all the key elements within the games, but the artwork as well is just, it's her own artwork. You can tell it's very she's got a specific art style, but it's gorgeous, and I love it, and I'm a fan. I think she's absolutely brilliant.
That sounds good. That's everyone go check it out and show back some support. Well, I think that's just about all we've got time for this episode, guys. It's been lovely meeting up again and chatting shit and discussing traumas and hope for the future. So, but yeah,
It's been traumatic.
it has in more ways than one.
Is that Dougie getting traumatic as well, Paul?
The dog,
Only
even
you can
Dougie's
see
had
what's on the
enough.
cutting room floor. But anyway, no, I've had a really good time. It's been awesome as always.
Thanks, guys. See you on the next
Thank
one.
you. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
And see you all
Like,
later.
comment, subscribe,
Bye,
everybody.
comment, subscribe. Bye.